Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in tonight for yet another edition of Sports Den. I'm Ryan Eastman. Tonight we have the Williamsburg Minutemen traveling on the road to face off against the Queens Pride. The Pride only a couple steps away from clinching the playoff spot, whereas Williamsburg still in the thick of it, fighting for their spot in the playoffs this season. We're going to get started fairly quickly. We see the starting lineup heading out to the court now. The Queens having a surprisingly good season despite the retiring last offseason of VZ, the queen of the Queens. Haha, bad joke, I know, I'm sorry. If Marcus is here, he would bat me. Queens get the tip-off. Anderson with the ball. One of the shortest players in the league at 5'3", passing over to Davenport. Davenport gets a screen, goes for the three, bounced off the front iron, no good. Leonard Mack with the rebound. Passing up to Tierra, over to Davis, back to Tierra. Davis open for three, no good. Anderson's going to bring the ball back up the court for the Queens. Scoreless so far in the first two possessions. Passing over to Newton. Noon down to Tavella. Tavella passing to Rajin. No good. Gets the offensive rebound. Puts it back, but almost blocked there by McLeod. Fiora. Trying to drive to the lane, but ended up backing it out to Tier. Over to Mack. And up to Davis. Fiora from the left side. Three. No good. No one has converted a shot yet after 1 minute in the game. Anderson passing over to Newton. Newton on the right sideline gets a screen, goes for the three off the screen. Finally, the first basket falls, and it is the veteran Squirrel putting it in. Atiera. See if she can answer back. She is dangerous from the perimeter, but then again, most of Williamsburg is. Atiera matching up well against Anderson, blocked and stolen back. Little layup there from Latier, even though she was blocked by Rajni. She was able to put it back up after the steal. Tavella going on a little isolation here at the top of the perimeter, but Davenport gets dished the ball. Looked like a three, but his paws were on the line. Long two brings Queens up to 5. Williamsburg at 2. Davis with the ball. Passing over to McLeod. Rebecca back to Davis. Davis played tightly by the veteran. Forced to take a fadeaway jumper, long range. It rattles around but gets at the fall as the shot clock was starting to close in on her. Very difficult shot to pull off, but she sure knows how to pull off a fadeaway and make it look nice, even though makes it look a lot easier than it is. And see Davenport driving into the paint. Passes back out to Newton. Newton backs up. Pushes into the post. Goes up. Draws some contact, but no foul called. 4-on-3 fast break. Fiora with the ball. Fluff has to back up. Mack loses it. Stolen by Tavella. The Big Fox wasn't able to hold on to the ball there. Pass down to Tavella in the post. Lays it up and in over Rajni. Sorry, not over Rajni, over McLeod. Davis driving into the paint. Huge block. Well, not huge in the sense of how powerful it was, but stopped on the peak of the arc there. Rajni able to stick up her paw and swat it away. No good on the three from the right baseline. Latiera passing over to Fiora. Fiora's wide open on the right sideline for three. No good, though. Tavella with the rebound. Williamsburg trying to rely on three-point shooting right now is not working for them. Anderson on the perimeter, running down the shot clock, dishes to Tavella in the post, backs down against McLeod. McLeod fouls hard, taking him to the ground. You know, the Lansing is not deterred at all by that. Ready to go to the line already. Go on the first. Brings it up to 8 with a chance for another bucket. And with that, he extends the lead to 5. Williamsburg maybe looking to call a timeout here. 4 minutes have passed and only 2 buckets have fallen for them. It looks like they're going to run whatever play they already had planned. La Tierra passing over to Fiora after the spin move. Fiora wide open, gets the 2. Would have been nice if she had taken a little step farther back and just hit the 3 at that point, but gets it back to 6. Pulls it within 3. Newton with the ball. Passing down to Tavella in the post. Tavella matching up against. Double team. Still gets the bucket to fall off the glass, though. McLeod and Mack were unable to match up against him despite double teaming of Tierra. Left open. Gets by Anderson. Uses her size advantage. Tavella is forced to fly over and try and put some last-second pressure on the young Vixen, but unable to stop the shot. In fact, draws contact, and she gets a chance for an and 1, bring it back within 2. And good. Anderson dishing over to Noonan off the screen. Looks like they want Tavella open in the post. He's going to back down against Rebecca again. Draws contact yet again from Rebecca. This time he gets the bucket to fall, answering back against Bear Latierra's own bucket and foul. Chance to make it and 1, and with that, McLeod will probably have to sit the rest of this quarter out. They're going to bring in Svengard, the rookie, to take over the power forward spot. They cannot afford to let McLeod get into early foul trouble. Tavella gun his free throw, extended to 14-9. Vieira on the perimeter, trying to play some isolation. Gets into the paint again. Looked like it was going to be a foul, but she just let go of the ball. I think she was expecting contact to be called, but no foul called and turnover. Not sure if they're going to credit that as a block. And once again, they're going to push the ball to Tavella. He's on fire, no good, but he gets the rebound, puts it back up off the glass. Gets his own miss. 16-9. Okay, 11 points already tonight. Williamsburg decide not to call timeout still. Vieira passes out to Fiora for 3 off the front iron, no good, but Svengard getting the offensive rebound and the putback. The young Deer using his height there, matching up well against Rajni. Silences the crowd a bit after that, even though it looks like they're going to try and set up Tavella for yet another play. Matching up against the Deer. Can he match the Lansing? He's able to put enough pressure, finally stop that scoring streak. Fiora dishes the ball back to Vieira. Vieira from 8 feet out, no good, but Svengard's second offensive rebound and another basket early. And Queens are going to call timeout after that. They are not happy. They're going to attempt to stop whatever momentum is beginning to build for Williamsburg. We're going to see some substitutions for both teams. Fairly early in the quarter to begin subbing most of the starters out. However, perhaps they expect this game to go into the fourth at a very slim margin. Davenport, the pump fake, gets around his defender and drives to the basket. Smart play coming in from the young collie. Marley with the ball. Pass down to Oliveira. Oliveira uses the pump fake of her own. The butterfly able to remove the disadvantage of her height down in the post with that pump fake. Draws the defenders up, and she's able to go up on her own without issue. Kikovic passing over to Davenport. Davenport, top of the key, goes for the three. No good, off the left iron and out. Svengard with another rebound. Passing over to Oliveira. Marley going for a quick three in the shot clock, off the iron, no good. Defender was right in her face, had a paw obscuring her view of the basket. Difficult shot to take in that situation. Would have liked to have seen her use the shot clock a little bit more. Oliveira passes into the chest of Mack, leaving Fiora on a wide open fast break. Decides to lay it in rather than dunking the ball. Fluff brings it back within 1 point. Blocked by the butterfly. 2-on-2 fast break. Dangerous pass over to Marley. Marley scoops it up and shoots. No good. Svengard got the offensive rebound, decided to try tapping it in, but too much power behind it, and it rolls out. Chance for Williamsburg to take the lead. Davenport down low in the post, dishes back to Kikovic as the defense had collapsed on him. Davenport over to Fangetsu. Top of the perimeter, no good. Svengard, another rebound. 2-on-2 fast break. Marley passing over to Fiora. Fiora to Mack. Mack goes up, gets contact from the collie. No go on the basket, but he gets to go for line for two. A chance for Williamsburg to take the lead for the first time in a long time. Actually, first time tonight. They have not been able to hold a lead or tie, in fact, since the beginning of the game. And we're going to see some more substitutions coming in. Zoe Wilds coming in for Queens, and Ian Easy coming in for Williamsburg. Two players who have seen movement in their career recently. Mack, no good on the second free throw. Leaves it tied at 18 apiece with a little over 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Drive into the paint, goes up through the contact. Queens with the lead once again. Mack with the ball, passing over to Ian Easy. The veteran passes to Oliveira, down to Mack. Marley, they were trying to go for a quick play into the post, but stolen by Fangestu. Ball tipped as they attempted to go for a pass to Kikovic. 3-on-3. Marley going for another quick shot early from the free throw line. Gets it to fall this time, though. 20 apiece, tied once again. Wild's going to bring the ball up the court. Calling for a screen from Kikovic. Goes for the three, nothing but net. Queens are having no trouble shooting from the three-point line tonight, whereas Williamsburg has struggled. Oliveira pump fakes, unable to get Zoe Wilds to fall for, and Kikovic is actually now putting some pressure. Mack dishing over to Ian Easy. Back over to Oliveira from three. As I say that, she manages to break Williamsburg's streak of missing every three, ties it once again, answers back with her own. Shooting deep from the woods. Zaref waiting for a play to drop. Wilds left open by Oliveira's weak defense, but no go on the shot. Oliveira was starting to cheat over. I'm going to see Marley with the ball. Passing over to Mack, back to Marley. Over to Ian Easy on the right sideline. Calls for the screen from Mack. Gets the switch that he wanted, but Mack is open in the post. Stolen by Zaref. Passing up to Fangestu. One-on-one fast break. Fouled by Svengard, but the basket is good. A chance for an and one. We're going to see Marley sub down. A few others. We're going to see the Macon brothers coming on the court for Williamsburg. Bangastu is good on the free throw. Queens have a 3-point lead with 1 minute left to go in the quarter. Macon goes for a shot, 6 feet out, no good. His brother was unable to get the rebound. Queens with the ball. Wilds matched up against Ian Easy, 2 veterans. Behind the back pass to Zaref. Zaref stuck on the woods though, tight defense coming out. Wilds, shot clock's running down. She's going to have to make a shot as no good. Shot clock was starting to catch up on her. Passing over to Macon. Macon blocked. I believe that was Zaref on the block there. Less than a second separates shot and game clock, but Zoe Wilds gets the spin move, knocks over her defender. No one comes over to help and is left wide open for the shot. However, that leaves 11 seconds on the shot clock, giving Williamsburg time to drop a play, even though Macon's just going to go for it. Gets it to fall, but it leaves 5 seconds, enough for time for possession as Zoe brings up the court. At the three-point line, just stands up and shoots and nails it. 31-25. 3 possessions in under 17 seconds. 3 baskets as well with that. Queens 31, Williamsburg 25. Williamsburg had closed the gap once again as the quarter was coming to a close, but Zoe Wilds runs the length of the court and steps into her 3-point shot, leaving only 0.2 seconds left in that quarter. That is one way to end it with some authority, especially on your home court.
If I do a lot that doesn't show up on the stage.
Williamsburg will get possession to start the second quarter. They're going to leave the Macon brothers in to start with. Silas Rand on the perimeter. Dishing down to McLeod. McLeod drives in, back on the court, and Tomsky. The basket's good, but personal foul after the play. They will retain possession of the ball after the basket. A gift given to Williamsburg, a chance to close it in even more. Macon. Dangerous pass over to Silas, cross court. Macon on the perimeter. I'm going to say Macon to Macon probably a lot tonight. Silas trying to get into the post. No good. Forced back out to the woods. Dishes over to McLeod. McLeod over to Davis. Davis, 2 seconds, got to go for a 3 from the right sideline. Gets it to fall. 1-point game once again. Queens up 31. Williamsburg 30. The young Cheetah, not fazed by the pressure of the shot clock ticking down, was able to get the 3 to fall. Anderson forced to pick up the ball. Tarek over to Newton. Newton to Tavella. Tavella loses the ball. Davis picks it up. Silas bring the ball down the court. Takes on his own with the layup. Williamsburg. First lead of the night, if I'm not mistaken. They'd only managed to tie it in the first quarter, and with that, the crowd has been silenced by the young Squirrel. Tavella steps into his shot. Closes the gap. No good. McLeod with the rebound. Silas passing down to Macon. Back over to Silas. Goes for a long 2 off the iron, no good. Newton with the rebound. And Anderson will bring the ball up the court. Back over to Newton. Anderson's defender's not on her. Leaves her open for a 3. Rolls in and out. Davis going to bring the ball up the court for Williamsburg. Passing over to McLeod at the top of the perimeter. Passing down to Davis, who's in the post. Has a height advantage here against Anderson. Goes for the 3. Sorry, not a 3, a long 2. Rebecca was unable to get the rebound. Tried to tap it out, but Queens ended up with the ball nonetheless. And Newton trying to answer the scoring drought with a 3, but no good. Queens' scoring drought continues into this quarter. Crystal gets a screen from Rebecca. Can't get the fadeaway 3 to fall, though. She tried to I guess, ignite a snap or cold spell. Despite that one shot going in, she has been a poor shooter tonight. Chomsky pass over to Newton. Newton was left open by the slow defensive rotation. Gives Queens the lead again, 33-32. Williams are going to call timeout. Looks like they want to make some substitutions. Potentially bring, I'm guessing, the Macon brothers off the court. Yeah, it looks like they've subbed out the Macon brothers and brought Lautier back in. Behind the back pass to Fiora. Fancy passing going on for Williamsburg. They bring the lead back in their favor, 34-33. Anderson on the perimeter trying to get a screen called up from Tavella. Maybe wants to do a give and go. Looks like it. Tavella tries to fight into the paint. Svengard able to provide enough defensive pressure to stop the basket from falling. The young rookie matching up well tonight against Adam. Davis decides to go for the shot early. McLeod, offensive rebound stripped, though, on the way up by Chomsky. Svengard comes flying in and steals the ball. 2-on-2 fast break is halted, though, by Anderson. Forces Fiora to slow down on the drive, but Fiora on the ball with the perimeter. Drives into the paint. Fouled by Newton. No good on the bucket. A chance for two at the line. Misses the first. Tavella subbed out for Queens despite having been on the floor for only a couple minutes. Perhaps hoping to give him a chance to reset and give the opportunity for the coach to come over and talk to him. He was on fire to start the first quarter, but has not produced much with the remaining minutes he's had on the floor. Davenport pulls up from the free throw line and swishes in with nothing but net, ties it back at 35 apiece. And Lautier will bring the ball up the court for Williamsburg. Almost a backcourt violation there. Hadn't fully crossed yet, decides to dish it to Marley. Back to Svengard. Tierra on the give and go, gets contact on the shot and another chance to go to the line for an and one as she made the bucket. Williamsburg surprisingly being dominant from the paint tonight. 20 of their points so far have come from the paint. We expect the opposite with the Queens. In fact, they're usually the ones that lead that statistic given Davenport's dunking ability and Tavella's dominance in the post. And we'll see Rose fouled by Svengard there. We'll go to the line for two. It rattles around, but Lily Rose is going the first. See if the Flamingo can make the second. Bounces out the front iron, but good. Free throws may play a key part in this game tonight, especially if the score stays as close as it has since the second quarter has started. We're going to see an isolation play from Lautier, trying to perhaps use the matchup, almost loses the ball there. This is to Marley, who's left wide open on the right corner line. However, basket will count, but Lautier will be called on the loose ball foul. Queens will get possession of the ball, but since the foul took place after the shot, as I said, it will count, giving Williamsburg 41, Queens 37. Biggest lead tonight for Williamsburg. Newton gets around his defender. Rajani gets the offensive rebound and the putback. There was a good height mismatch there going up against those defenders, was able to extend with one paw and grab that ball and bring it back down and put it right back up. Fiora left open in the post, decides to pass back out to Svengard, who passes down to McLeod, blocked. Huge block coming out from the Elephant. Rajani sent the ball flying out of bounds, leaving Williamsburg only 9 seconds on the shot clock. Lautier passing back out to Fiora. Over to Mack. 3 seconds on the shot clock, ends up in Fiora's hands. Off the iron, no good. Queens with the chance to tie the score or possibly take the lead. They're going to go for a quick shot, though. Early shot works out for them in the end. Newton, the veteran, felt an opening and decided to take it despite it being only 4 seconds into the shot clock there. Altiera trying to drive into the post. Bunny still manages to stop her, and given the spin guard, drives from the woods to the kennel and lays it in with contact. Now he has a chance to go for the free throw line for an and one. And good. Svengard so far putting up a lot more points than expected from Williamsburg. We expect to see that kind of performance from either Mack or McLeod, but now they've got a third center providing much needed support in the post, even though Micah, great move on the perimeter, gets around his defender and uses his speed to drive to the basket, decides not to dunk it, lays it in given how close the game is. Perhaps he could have pumped up the crowd a bit with a dunk, but can't fault him for going for the safe route. Vera tried to go for a three-pointer, no good. Micah bringing the ball up the court on a fast break. Defense is able to stop it, though, as he falls back out to the perimeter. Wilds trying to drive on the baseline, manages to get into the post and lays it in easily over Vera. It's been a back-and-forth match now, trying blow for blows between these two teams. Fiora with the ball, passing dangerously down low, intercepted. Davenport on the fast break. He's fouled on the way up by Fiora, but the colleague gets the bucket and an and one opportunity. Nails it, extending it back to 48-44. The Queens perfect from the free throw line, and a bad pass out of bounds coming from Mack there. A little bit of a silly turnover, and they're going to sub out Davenport and bring in Zaref. Mengestu with the ball. Quick pass down to Zoe Wild. Zoe no good, though. Had a chance there for an easy bucket, but put too much power behind it. Sometimes it's the easiest shots that are the hardest to make. Ianese, ooh, it was robbed from him. Looked like it was going to go in, but just rattled out. Zoe Wilds gets by her defender, bites to the contact over Kikovic, gets the bucket, no foul called though. However, the Queens back up to 50. Williamsburg at 44, 6-point lead. Another after the bucket foul, this time calling Zoe Wilds. The bucket was no good, however, looks like we're in the bonus, so Williamsburg will go to the line for two. However, it's Mack going to the free throw line. Not the most consistent free throw shooter. So if you're going to foul someone, not the worst person to foul. Good on the first. And good on the second, proving me wrong. For now, at least. We'll see how he does if he goes to the line in the future. Zoe Wilds on the perimeter. Gets a screen, drives into the paint, goes for the shot early. No good, but Kikovic, offensive rebound, decides to pass back out to Rose and not go for the put-back basket. Zoe calls for the screen, gets into the paint again. Olivier fouls. However, she had Mack coming over to help. She could have possibly not been as aggressive. The butterfly, though, called for the contact. She has to be careful. She is made of glass. She might break. Zoe now a chance to answer back with her own two free throws. Queens have been perfect tonight. Continues that streak with the first one. Good on the second. Mack with the ball, passes over to Marley. Could have driven into the post possibly, but decides to dish it out. to the Wolfbat. Ianese. Gets by his defender, left open, 6 feet out. No good on the bucket though, but Svengard. What was that spin move around Kikovic to box him out and get the offensive rebound and the quick putback? That is 9 points so far tonight for the rookie. Wilds can't answer back. Mack with the ball now. Oliveira. Pass down to Marley. Back to Ianese, over to Mack. Oliveira. Ianese now on the right sideline with the ball. Oliveira going from the woods. High arcing ball. Bounces off the back iron but falls in. She's perfect tonight from the floor with 8 points, 3 for 3 so far. 2 of them being from three-point line, beyond the three-point line. Zoe Wilds gets the screen, decides not to drive in after it though. Calls for another one, this time gets by. Mack puts it upon her face, but Kikovic left wide open, comes flying in, gets the offensive rebound and the putback before even landing. That is the trouble of that screen. He drives straight to the paint as soon as that bucket goes up. He's there for the offensive rebound or he is there to box out. It's a very dangerous situation. Oliveira trying to continue her streak, no good. Couldn't tie it back up. 54-51. Zoe Wilds taking the ball, drives into the bucket, gets it to fall, got contact, thought she might have been called for the charge there, but the refs let it fly as she knocked over the defender. Oliveira drives in, gets by her defender, gets contact as well. Nice little teardrop. Gets the foul and the bucket. Chance for an and one. Zoe Wilds will sit down. She's been key for the Queens to get this lead. However, it's been whittled down to 4 points once again. Both teams shooting very well from the free throw line. Williamsburg only having missing 2 so far tonight, whereas the Queens are still perfect. No spin move. Oliveira. Second personal foul. Sends the rookie to the line. Daisuke. Gets the first one. We see Oliveira subbed out. Davis brought back in, probably for the rest of the quarter. And Snow continues the streak. That is now 10 straight free throws from the Queens without a single miss. Macon, pass back to Rand. Silas, over to Macon. Macon for 3, no good. Macon almost got the rebound though. Sometimes I wonder if they decide to combine their stats given their names, make one super player. Fortunately tonight, not producing on the scorecard. Chomsky tried to go for a pump fake. Tano now at the ball. Huge block from Ianese. Tavella gets the rebound. 3 seconds left. Zaref has to go for the 3 off the iron. No good. Silas Rand gets a rare rebound. The ball just landed in his paws. Macon left on the perimeter, tries to go for another 3, this time left wide open, able to get it to fall. Gets it back to a 1-point game. However, given last quarter's last 30 seconds, there was a scoring frenzy. As I say that, Mengestu drives to the basket. Williamsburg now has 20 seconds. Shot clock turned off, has a chance to take the last shot. Ianese left open on the perimeter, could go for a 3 if they want to. They may keep an eye on him to see if they can get the ball to him, but right now Macon's going to hold on to it with 6 seconds left. Drives into the paint, goes up for it, no good. Macon tipped it, but couldn't get the rebound. Queens will not throw up a last second shot, and with that, the second quarter comes to an end. The first half, Queens 60, Williamsburg 57. And we'll take a look at the stats and see how both teams have compared so far, but given the start of the game, the Williamsburg Minutemen have done a great job staying close. Looking at Samantha Anderson, 15 minutes has not been able to convert a single basket. In fact, 2 turnovers so far. Newton, 7 points, shooting 50% so far tonight. An assist and a steal. Davenport, 11 points for him, 2 rebounds. Mengistu, 5 points and a steal, coming off the bench. Adam Tavella, 11 points, 5 rebounds, an assist and a steal. Lily Rose, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists and a steal. Rajni, 4 blocks. They did give him that 1 block that I was questioning whether or not it would count. 4 rebounds and 2 points in only 11 minutes. Kikovic, 2 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist. Zaref, no points, but a block, a steal, an assist, and a rebound. Zoe Wilds, though, for Queens, when she's come on the floor, she has taken charge. In only 8 minutes, 18 points, taking a basket. Pretty much every basket taken while she's on the court is coming from her at the moment. Can't fault her, though, given her field goal percentage tonight at above 50% from the field goal and 100% so far from the three-point line. Chomsky, assist and 2 rebounds, and Daisuke Tano, 2 free throws and a rebound. Moving over to the Minutemen, Leonard Mack, 3 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. All of his points coming from the free throw line tonight so far. Svengard, the rookie, 9 points, 8 rebounds, on his way to a double-double. 2 steals to complement that scorecard so far. Fiora, 7 points, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. Gonna have to see if she can pick it up going into the second half. Michaela Marley, 5 points, 2 for 5 from the free field goal. Crystal Davis, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 for 7. Been a little cold tonight, has forced a couple shots, but then again, the shot clock has not been her friend tonight. McLeod, no blocks, but 2 steals, 5 rebounds, and 2 points. Vera Latiera, 8 points, 4 assists, no turnovers for her. Oliviera matching up against Samantha Anderson, and Zoe Wilds has held her own. 11 points in 9 minutes, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and a block. 4 for 5 from the field so far. Ian Easy, 0 for 2. However, a big block coming out from him tonight. Donald Macon, 0 for 2 from the field goal line. From the field, 1 rebound. Desmond, 2 for 4 tonight, 1 of them being a 3. 5 points, no other major stats. Silas Rand, 2 points in 6 minutes and 3 assists coming out from him. And with that, we will go into the third quarter. Queens held in this game surprisingly by only 3 players. Zoe Wilds, coming off the bench, has scored almost a third of their points. And then you have Micah Davenport and Adam Tavella picking up most of the other slack, sharing another third between the 2 of them. So between 3 players, 2/3 of the points for the Queens have been produced. Whereas the Williamsburg Minutemen, or Minutewomen, as I may start calling them given their stats and who is on the floor, have spread the scoring out very well, Svengard being the only one who has stood out outside of Oliviera. And with that, Latiera answers with a 2-pointer early. Brings it back to 1-point game. Anderson on the perimeter, tries to drive in, forced to back out, dishing the ball to Newton. Newton fouled by Crystal Davis on the way up. The shot is good, and a chance for an and one. The veteran who does not succumb to the pressure, however, first miss tonight from the free throw line from the Queens. Just dribbled off the left iron. Davis decides to go for a 3 early in the shot clock, no good. Davis may need to slow down here. She is not getting her shot to fall unless she's just trying to shoot it out, but this game's too close for that. Newton makes up for missing that free throw, hits a 3, showing Crystal how it's done. Gets it back to a 6-point game. Queens 65, Minutemen 59. Fiora in the paint, loses the ball, goes up for the shot. Davenport the rebound. Davenport dishing over to Anderson. Anderson, Rebecca McLeod comes over. What a height disadvantage there. Decides to back out. Anderson passing down to Tavella. Tavella stripped by Fiora. Fluff getting the better of Adam there. Tiara from the post, no good. It dribbles out over the front of the iron. Easy shot that should have fallen, but just a little too much power on it. Tavella gets by Rebecca, who is trying to go for a charge call, but Delinseng too slippery for her and gets around her. Queens, starting off strong in the first 2 minutes, put up 7 points quickly. Williamsburg going to slow it down now. Davis with the ball, drives into the paint, uses her speed, but huge block comes flying in from Rajni. I am shocked the ball did not go out of bounds, but one of the Queens players manages to corral it in. That's the 5th block tonight, but Fiora with the steal, taking it all the way, coast to coast. Decides not to slam it in, lays it in. Could hear the defender chasing her down from behind. Went for the safe shot. Queens will call a timeout. Even though they had a huge block there, they quickly gave up the ball on the other end, allowing for a fast break from Williamsburg. Rajni now has 5 blocks tonight. Williamsburg will have to keep that in mind as they go to the paint. The big elephant is not having it tonight. She will continue to block the ball and own the post while she's on the floor. Anderson passing over to Newton. Newton over to Rajni. Back to Davenport, who pump fakes and gets a screen. Steps inside the three-point line. No good. McLeod at the rebound. Davis, quick passer to Fiora. Fiora bites in through the contact. Can't get the ball to fall, but fouls Davenport. Perhaps looking to get the collie in foul trouble here. That's his 2nd so far. If he gets a 3rd early, they may pull him, but they might try to keep him in despite foul trouble, given Williamsburg propensity to keep this game close. The Queens have not been able to build a decisive lead so far tonight. Just as they seem to get the momentum going their way, Williamsburg answers back. Queens 67, Williamsburg 63. Newton passing back to Anderson. The Bunny calls for the screen from Newton, but dishes to him in the end. Newton with some isolation, drives into the post, gets the shot off over Crystal Davis. The veteran showing his worth on this team. We often talk about Davenport and Tavella, but Newton holds his own even with the majority of the touches going through those two. Williamsburg probably drew up a play hoping to stay close. Looks like they're going to call for a screen. Mack, dangerous pass from Rebecca McLeod to Mack, but he's able to reach up and grab it. Some Fox-to-Fox shooting. Lays it in, 65-69. Tavella back down the post. Bites through Mack, gets the contact and the shot. And with that, both teams are going to sub one of their big men out. Svengard coming back in to match up against Tavella. Perhaps they think that's a better matchup, and then Kikovic will come in for Rajni. McLeod left open on the perimeter. Passes over to Oliveira. Oliveira off the screen, passes to Svengard. Svengard going for a long 2. No good, but Latiera with the offensive rebound in the putback. Unexpected coming out from her tonight, but you gotta do what you gotta do to stay in this game. Tavella matching up against the Deer. Decides to dish it to Davenport. Davenport drives in, forced to stop as McLeod applies some pressure to her, and Tavella stuck in the woods. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Anderson's got to go for a long shot from the woods. No good, but Kikovic just jumps up and taps it in. Williamsburg cannot afford to miss those box-out opportunities. Oliviero with the ball. Passing over to Fiora. Fiora deep in the woods. Calls for a screen. Spin move. Shoots the ball from the free throw line. McLeod with the offensive rebound. The screen allowed McLeod to get posted deep in the paint, ready for that shot to come off. That's why Fiora took the shot so early despite the pressure. She knew she had support from McLeod if she missed. Assuming a defender did not come flying in out of nowhere, it was an easy rebound. Davenport from three, no good. McLeod gets the rebound. Atiera bring the ball up the court. Dangerous pass to Svingard. Svingard almost loses it, picks it back up though before Tavella could get a paw on it and puts it in. Svingard continuing to abuse the post, but he lets, I don't know what happened there. Tavella just waltzes by him. Svingard seemed maybe to be distracted a little bit. Maybe still celebrating that bucket he just made. Offers no resistance as Tavella went to the basket. Svingard back over to Oliviero, down to Tierra on the left sideline. Double team, gets by one defender and another. Lays it up, no good though. Could not thread the needle between the defenders. Tavella with the ball, passing over to Anderson. 5.5 minutes left in this third quarter. A 5-point lead for Queens, but they have the ball. And Davenport drives in, throws up a hook shot with the contact. No good on the shot, but he gets two from the line now. Good on the first. Queens have been very good tonight from the free throw line. We're going to see another set of substitutions coming in for both teams. Williamsburg needs to get this game back under control. They can't afford to continue to let the Queens have their way with them in the post. Ianese passing down to McLeod off the screen. Nice give and go. Easy layup coming in. That's the beauty of the give and go. Screener crashes to the basket. Either the ball handler will make it to the bucket or the screener, and Svingard blocks Anderson. Almost a 2-foot height difference there. Kikovic goes up. McLeod unable to get a paw in his face. He lays it up and in. 80-73. Oliviero passing to Marley, going for a quick shot, draws contact, almost hangs in the air like she was floating. Puts it up after the contact, and another chance for an and one from Williamsburg. It has been impressive tonight how many times they have gone to the free throw line with this opportunity to get a third point for free. And she nails it. 76-80. Davenport subbed out. Chomsky on the perimeter, passing over to Fangestu. Over to Zarev. Zarev drives into the paint. Was able to get by his defender, and the bucket just rolls in. Silas bringing the ball up the court for Williamsburg. Over to Macon. Macon going for three. He has continued to try shooting those threes tonight, and it's just not working for him. Marley called with the personal foul. Charging through the screen. Should be called on that foul. Queens retain possession. They will sub in Tano at point guard. Chomsky passing over to Zarev. Zarev to Tano. Rookie on the perimeter. Running down the shot clock. Only 8 seconds left. Looking like they're going to call a play for Fangestu on the perimeter. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds. Has to go for a long three. No good, but Chomsky with the offensive rebound. However, a pump fake draws Macon up. Chomsky with the chance to go to the line for two. They're also in the bonus now, so any foul from now on will result in a trip to the line for the Queens. Another round of substitutions coming in. Macon brothers subbed out for Williamsburg. No good on the second. Mack with the rebound. Silas driving into the paint, knocks over Fangestu, but over to Ianese. Three-pointer rattles in and out. Unfortunate. That looked like it was going to fall. Fangestu over to Zaref. Back over to Tano. Back over to Rose. Rose passing it around, ending up in Zaref's paws, but Chomsky, 4 seconds left. Tano. Someone has to shoot. 1 second. Rose is the one to take the shot from the right sideline. No good, though. Rand going to bring the ball back up the court. Marley, open three very early in the shot clock. She has not been hitting that shot tonight, so I wish she would stop taking it. It has not proved productive for her despite being left open. The Wolfbat needs to choose her shots better. I know she might think she can hit it, but right now she is ice cold from that range. Zaref going for a late shot. Air ball. Child's not going to chant it given it's their own player, but good God, if this was coming from Williamsburg, we'd hear it nonstop. Newton subbed in at point guard. It seems like the Queens are taking a shot clock killing mentality here, or maybe they're just failing to get any plays drawn up on the court. Silas, little spin move, gets by his defender, gets into the paint, goes up for the shot. No foul called despite the contact, but gets it anyways. Newton's going to bring the ball up for Queens. Zaref passing over to Rose. Rose deep from the woods. Flamingo makes it, though. Brings it up to an 8-point game. Biggest lead so far tonight for either team. Silas Rand trying to keep the game close. Tries to do it on his own. No good. Which he had tried to drop a play there. Chomsky over to Fangestu. Fangestu passing back to Newton. Newton drives into the post, backs up against Silas. Silas forced to foul as he goes up. Chance for two at the line, and the opportunity to make the first double-digit lead of this game in the third quarter now. Good on the first. And good on the second, 88-78. Williamsburg down by 10 here with 1:40 left in the quarter. Ianese on the perimeter, pass to Silas, deep in the woods, calls for the screen, however, it's too obvious and they get around it. McLeod back over to Rand. Silas, only a couple seconds on the shot clock, tries to get into the post, goes up with two defenders. The ball rattles around, but it still drops, 88-80. Mengestu going to bring the ball up the court for Queens, passing over to Rose. Rose forcing the defender to play tight given the last deep three bomb that came out from Rose. Newton's going to back down into the post. Fouled hard by Crystal Davis and McLeod. I'm surprised one of them did not get a flagrant there given both of them went hard on him. Good on the first, contact not affecting his shooting from the free throw line. And good on the second. Ianese to Rand in the post. Fangestu with the hard foul now, answering back with a little physicality of her own. Sends Silas to the line, misses one. Can't afford to miss this one though. 81-90. A little bit of a full court press coming out from Williamsburg. However, they gotta be careful. That can leave open fast break opportunities. Zaref looked like he wanted to drive to the post, decides to pass back out. Tavella back on the court. Rajani matching up against McLeod. Gets into the post, but blocked by McLeod. Pride will maintain possession of the ball with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. No Williamsburg player was in the area to corral the ball as it sailed out of bounds off the good block from McLeod. Rajani, 5 seconds. Passing over to Fangestu. Fangestu blocked again, gets the rebound. No good, but Rajani, offensive rebound, puts it back. The offensive rebound works in her favor as she gets the shot to fall 92-81. Shot clock turned off. Williamsburg will have the last possession unless they decide to shoot early. Davis with the ball. Going for 3 with 9 seconds left. No good. Leaves plenty of time for Queens to get the ball back up the court. Fangestu from three-point line, but blocked once again. Wanted to get that last bucket in, but not allowed, even though Queens in the quarter up by 11, 92-81. Again, Williams are going to pull out the full court press here, try and put some pressure on Queens, hope they can force some turnovers. However, it leaves their defense strained at best. At worst, full of holes. Davenport off the screen, no good. Davis with the rebound. Passing her to Fiora. Fiora decides to take the shot. Barely drops, though, after bouncing off the rim 3 different times. Cuts it back to a single-digit lead. However, Williamsburg has to get a stop here. She's matched up well tonight against Davenport. However, Williamsburg has not been able to make a significant push. We'll have to see if they can do this now going into the fourth quarter. Tierra going for a 3, 12 seconds in the shot clock, but McLeod, offensive rebound, put back, a foul by Tavella, a chance for an and one yet again. It's almost as if Tierra had made that three-pointer. Williamsburg showing some grit here, gets it back to 6 points. One more stop, and they can potentially close this gap to a single bucket. Tavella fighting off against Spingard. Spingard, huge block, swatted down over the Linsing. Fiora. They cannot waste this opportunity here. Fiora with the ball once again. Going for 3 off the iron, no good. Ball is just going to let them, the Pride are just going to let the ball bounce out of bounds rather than trying to pull it in. Did not want to risk accidentally turning the ball over there. Svengard, despite his strong play so far, is being subbed out for Leonard Mack. They're going to go with more of a veteran in this situation, despite the young player. Somewhat dominant performance going against Tavella. Tavella has been shut down since that first quarter. Newton with the ball. Over to Anderson. Anderson calls for a screen from Kikovic, but it's a fake. Goes for a 3 as her defender tried to commit to getting around the screen. Davis now at the ball. Another opportunity to chip away at this lead. Gets a screen from Mack. Another 3 off the back iron, no good. Renee, 5 for 13 tonight so far. Newton with the ball. Goes for a pump kick, able to get into the paint, lays it up and under the defender. 94-86, a little under 10 minutes left in this final quarter. Mack on the perimeter, passing over to Fiora deep in the woods. Latiera intercepted as she tried to pass down, but Mack gets the steal of his own. McLeod now with the ball. Over to Latiera once again. She had to be careful passing down to the post. Mack giving up to Davis. Davis drives into the free throw line, pulls up and nails the shot. 9 minutes left. Williamsburg has kept the lead close enough that they can get a quick run in and bring it back to a tie. However, they would feel much more comfortable if they got this back to one basket. Tavella going for a high teardrop shot over the defender. First basket he's had in a long while. You know, that's his 20th point now tonight, matching Newton's 20th point. Fiora, another 3 attempt, no good. Williamsburg continues to try forcing these threes to fall, even though they're open. Queens are just letting them take them at this point. They need to convert a few, or else they'll die by the 3 tonight. Davenport wanted some contact there, not called. Kikovic with the offensive rebound putback gets it back to a 10-point lead. Williamsburg going to call timeout. Not surprising at all, considering they have let the lead bubble up again to a 10-point difference. Perhaps coach is telling them to stop shooting the threes until they can either find their rhythm or get back closer into this game. And Fiora going to pass the ball out of bounds, turnover, focusing probably too much on what they were trying to do with the play. Gives it up, and Queens are going to call timeout now. Let Fiora stew in that mistake. Newton with the ball. Tavella now matching up against Mack. Double teamed, in fact, and Newton steps into his shot, rattles in and out. Fiora, 4-on-3 fast break, gives it up to Davis. They tried to get a Newton tried to get the charge called on her. However, no call from the ref there. Could have gone either way. Probably for the best that there wasn't a whistle. Probably would have been an opportunity for an and one. McLeod, third personal foul, reaching. However, given the fourth quarter, they will keep her in. She still has 3 fouls to give. Does reset the shot clock to 14 seconds, though. Gives Queens a chance to devise a play, one of which is a give and go off of the inbound to Davenport for a layup. Davenport, Newton, and Tavella, along with Zoe Wilds, the 4 of them can account for almost 80% of the Queens' points tonight. A double screen coming out for the Williamsburg Minutemen, leaving Fiora open for 3. Someone can finally breathe a sigh of relief as Floof finally makes a 3-pointer. A bit late, but if it keeps them in the game, you can't complain. Tavella takes a shot, gets the shooter's bounce off the front iron. Still a single-digit lead for the Queens, 93 Williamsburg, 102 for the Queens. Mack passing over to La Tierra. Trying to get into the kennel, using her height advantage down there. Lays it up and in over Samantha Anderson. And we're going to see Davenport bring up the ball. Given a bit of space, could decide to pull up for a 3 if he wanted to, but looks like he's going to play it to Tavella. Looked like it may have been tipped there by Mack. No good. Williamsburg passing down to Davis early in the shot clock. No good, though. Anderson with the rebound. Davis had the chance there to go for the shot, and she took it. However, just not enough behind it. And Samantha Anderson goes into the paint, blocked from behind. I believe that was Vera. Smacked it off the backboard. Davis, once again, going for an early shot. Almost too much power behind it. It almost rolled out of the rim. However, falls in. 5-point lead for the Queens. It's being whittled away. They need to convert here or risk giving Williamsburg a chance. No good. Davis with the rebound. Kikovic could have boxed out there and gone for the offensive rebound, but I think he expected the ball to fall in. Instead, just spun out the last second. Williamsburg now. A real chance if they can get over the defense. No good, but McLeod between two defenders, get the rebound. Tiara for a three, no good. Two open shots, unable to be converted. Could have brought it back to a 2-point game. Williamsburg might be looking back on that moment. Anderson, no good for three on her own. The crowd's starting to get into this. They're chanting defense, expecting their team to hold them off. Fiora going for three. She might have finally found her stride now. 100 to 102. Williamsburg is not out of this yet. Only 4 minutes remain in this final quarter. Tavella fighting down low into the post. No good, but Kikovic with the offensive rebound, fouled hard by Mack. Going to the line for two. If there was one person you wanted to send to the line, the Porcupine is one. Gets the first one. See if he can make the second one. And he's good. The pressure does not get to him. 104 to 100. Watch out for Fiora. She might have finally found her three-point stride. If she gets the ball again, don't be surprised if she takes a shot. Mack over to Davis. Davis from three from the left sideline. Off the iron, no good. Davis once again unable to find the basket. 1 for 7 tonight from the three-point line. That right there is the difference between being up by 20 or this case of being down by 4. 20 might be a bit of an exaggeration, but up by like 5 or 6. If she had made only a couple of those. Fiora with the ball. Passing over to Tiara. Tiara to Davis. Davis not going to take the shot over to Mack. Tiara pump fakes towards Davis. However, uses a screen. Open lane to the basket. 102 to 104. Vera getting it done in the paint tonight. 12 for 16 points so far. Utilizing that size advantage over Samantha Anderson. A foot difference between the point guards is not common. She is abusing that as much as she can. And Newton off the iron, no good. Hardly jumped for the shot, perhaps trying to fake out his opponent, but Davis with the ball now. Needs to just give it up to someone else. Fiora. Micah keeping close to her, though. She is unable to get into the paint like she wanted to. Given a screen. However, she's forced to pick up the ball by Anderson. 3 seconds left. Tiara long to no good. 15-footer is not able to convert it. Tavella, 1 rebound away from a double-double. Passing the ball over to Davenport. Davenport from the top of the perimeter goes for the shot. Off the left iron, no good. Mack gets the ball, even though it looked like Kikovic might have. Fast break. Tiara into the paint once again. Gets the bucket and the foul. You can hear the crowd's anger at the ref there. A chance for Williamsburg to take the lead. Queens are going to bring back in Rajni, hoping to bolster their post defense. Tiara is good on the shot. Williamsburg, a 1-point lead. 1 minute, 51 seconds left in this game. Despite falling down multiple times to a 10-point deficit, Williamsburg did not give up and managed to crawl their way back into this. Queens now, only 2 timeouts left. Oh, Davenport. That could have been a backcourt violation. Anderson over to Tavella. Tavella needs to convert this shot. Mack. Everyone just stared at it as it rattled around, but Tavella manages to get the shot to fall. 1 minute and 38 seconds left. 5 or 6 possessions left in this game. Who will get the most buckets to fall in those few possessions that they have left? Pass over to Davis. Davis to Tiara. Tiara for 3. Cold as ice. Blood like the Arctic. Able to make the shot off of the pass. Hardly 3 seconds into the play. What a beautifully drawn up execution. Gives them a 2-point cushion. And I can't say cushion much because a minute and 35 seconds. If Queens miss this shot, they still have 2 potential possessions left to close the gap. Davenport over to Anderson. Anderson backing up to the woods, deep into the woods, going to try and set up an isolation play, likely to Tavella given the positioning of this defense and offense. Tavella in the post, goes up, Mack decides to foul him rather than letting him take the shot. Tavella now, all rests on his paws. Good on the first. If he's good on the second, he will tie the game up with 1:23 seconds left, and he is good. 108 apiece. Williamsburg calling timeout. Probably going to try and draw up another play like they did on their last possession. That worked out great for them with that beautiful three from Tierra. Over to La Tierra. Gets open. She could go for a three here if she wanted, but decides to pass to Davis. Davis, don't go for a three here. Or if you do, you have to make it. This is the 1-3 you need to make tonight. Gets a screen. Gets into the paint. Decides to pass over to Fiora instead of taking the basket in traffic. Fiora goes for a long two. Could have been a three if her paw was half a foot back. But despite the defense and the bench from the Queens getting in her ear, she makes the shot. Less than a minute left for the Queens. Tavella fouled once again. They are going to make him get every basket from the line. Fourth foul from McLeod. Tavella going the first. He is not going to miss this. Perfect. 110 to 110. 54 seconds left. Both teams saving their last timeout. Dangerous pass from La Tierra. Given over to the Queens. Only 50 seconds left now. Williamsburg has to stop the Queens here. They cannot let them get a basket. They're going to give it to Tavella. Tavella, spin move down to the paint. Goes up for the shot. Gets it to fall, and you hear the crowd on their feet cheering. 33 seconds left. This is only 2 or 3 possessions left in the game. Williamsburg has to get a bucket, and it gets by the defender, blocked by the Queens. Queens just have to run down the shot clock and take a last-second shot, and they will leave Williamsburg only a couple seconds left. Queens may want to call a timeout here, but they may just leave it. Tavella giving the ball over to him. No good. 10 seconds left. Williamsburg calls their last timeout. 2 to tie, 3 to win. Tavella trying to show confidence despite missing that shot. All it will take now is one basket, and Williamsburg may clinch the win here. A miss and the game is over. Get a two-pointer might be what they go for, or are they going to get the ball to Tierra and see if she can make a three? Looks like Tierra's going to be the one with the ball. 7 seconds left. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Bad pass out of bounds. She was trying to go to the post. It looked like Fiora was her target. With that, the Queens will call timeout. They want to bring the ball as far up the court as possible, so even if Williamsburg gets a steal, they will have to run the length of the court. Williamsburg will obviously try and foul as soon as the ball is passed in bounds, but that may have been the dagger. Pass to Davenport. Davenport fouled. 1.9 seconds left. He will go to the line. They were hoping he would pass the ball. Good on the first. If he misses the second, Williamsburg has to chuck the ball up in the air. He misses it. Mack, full court shot, no good. Can't get the buzzer beater, full court heave to fall. With that, the Queens ink it out 113 to 110. Very close game in the end. Came down to the final possessions. Dangerous pass down low. Unfortunately sealed it for Queens. And we see Adam Tavella, no surprise, getting the player of the game given his last 2-minute performance, going to the free throw line and nailing every shot, kept the Queens in the game in the final minute. Looking at the roster, Samantha Anderson, no points off of 7 field goal attempts, 7 assists though. Managed to make up that turnover differential in the end. Newton, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 from 12. Adam Tavella, 30 points, 9 rebounds, did not finish with the double-double tonight. 2 steals, a block, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Big storyline there. Able to keep the Queens in it in the final minute. Micah, Davenport, 16 points, 4 rebounds. Kikovic, double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, perfect from the field, 5 of them having been offensive rebounds. Rajni, 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Very strong post presence. Mengistu, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and assist and a steal. Rose, 5 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists and a steal. Zarif, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and a block, getting a bit of everything done on the floor. Chomsky, only 1 point coming from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, assist and no turnovers. Zoe Wilds, still only 8 minutes, was able to put up 18 points. And then Tano with 7 minutes on the floor with only 2 points. Again, looking at this, between 5 players, almost 90% of the points were scored. Moving over to Williamsburg, Leonard Mack, 12 rebounds, 5 points, and a block. McLeod, 9 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Biora, 21 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Latier, 22 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block. Crystal Davis had a cold night shooting 1 for 7 from the 3-point line, 11 points total, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Svengard, the rookie, coming off the bench, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Marley, 8 points, 1 assist. Ianese, only 3 assists and a block coming out from him tonight. Oliveira, 11 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and a block. Silas Rand, 7 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. And Donald, 1 rebound. And Desmond, 5 points. And flipping over to the team comparison, we see going into the first quarter, the Queens ended it with a significant lead at 6 points. They actually had very similar stats between the two of them, except for the field goal and 3-point differential. Second quarter, Williamsburg managed to close the gap, ending it with a 3-point down 3 points, but it was off of Zoe Wild's last-second 3 that gave the Queens that advantage. Again, very similar stats between the two of them in that half. Third quarter, Queens pulled away with their significant shooting and free throws, going to the line twice as often as the Williamsburg Minutemen did. And unfortunately, Williamsburg was unable to fully close that gap in the end, as the Queens were starting to fall apart on the field goal attempts. A significant dip from their previous 50% in every quarter. They only shot 32% in the fourth quarter. However, it was too much of a difference for the Williamsburg Minutemen to make up. With that, this game comes to a close. The Queens one step closer to locking up that playoff spot. Thank you for joining me tonight. I have been Ryan Eastman. Our next game will be the Edmonton Totems going up against the Texas Lone Stars on March 31st. Hope you tune in to our next Sports Den, and we will see you again.